All right. Hello, fifth graders. This assignment is for Thursday, March 19th. You have this video, and then you're going to have practice problems and an exit ticket. So first I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing on your practice problems worksheet. So we're going to be dividing numbers and decimal numbers by tenths and hundredths. So when you see 2 divided by 1/10, that number is 1/10. It's the same thing as taking 2 and multiplying it by 10. Okay? And when you see a number divided by 1/100th, it's the same thing as taking that number and multiplying it by 100. Okay? So 2 times 10, the answer to this is going to be 20. And 2 times 100, this is going to be 200. Okay? So when it's just a regular old whole number on this side, that's the easy part, right? You're basically taking the number, you're multiplying it by 10 if it's divided by tenths, and you're multiplying it by 100 if it's divided by hundredths. Okay, so when you see this problem, that's what it really means. When you see this problem, that's what it really means. Now, let's see what happens if we have a number with a decimal in it. Let's say that the question is 2.3 divided by 1/10. So, just like the other problem, this is the same thing as 2.3 times 10. Okay? And so we're simply multiplying 2.3 times 10, which is going to be 23. An easy trick to doing this is taking the decimal point, and since 10 only has 1 0 in it, that's a good hint to remember we're taking the decimal point and we're making it one spot to the right. That gives us our answer of 23. Okay? A good way to logic it out is that we're making this number 10 times bigger, right? So if I moved it the other way, I would have 23 hundredths, right? Or 0.23. That actually made the number smaller, so you know that's not the right direction to move the decimal. You want to move it to the right to make the number 10 times bigger. It's the same thing when we take a decimal and we divide it by 1/100th. Just like the other problems we just did, it's like taking the decimal number and multiplying it by 100. Okay? So your answer is going to be 230. 2.3 times 100 is 230. So just like up here, I moved the decimal point to the right, but because 100 has 2 zeros in it, I moved the decimal point 2 spots. And of course, once you move it that second spot, you have to fill it in with a 0. Again, if I went the opposite way, it would make the number 100 times smaller, and we don't want that because we're multiplying by 100. So we're going to move it 2 spots to the right to make 230, and when we're multiplying by 10, we're moving it 1 spot to the right. 10 has 1 0. Okay? So that should get you started for your practice problems. Now the exit ticket. So the exit ticket is a little similar, except this time we're not just multiplying by tenths or hundredths, we're multiplying with a number in the tenth spot or in the hundredth spot. So the first two problems would be this. This is 3.2 divided by 8/10 or 0.8. We're going to do this the same way. So here's a good trick to doing this, okay? It's the same thing as saying, what is 32 divided by 8? So the trick is, what I did is I took this decimal point and moved it 1 spot to the right because it's like I'm in the 10th spot. Okay, I moved it 1 spot to the right to change it to 32 divided by 8. I move this to the 10th spot, and I move this over here to the right. Okay, whatever you do to this side, you got to do this side. And because we're dealing with 8/10, right? This is 8/10. and 10 only has 1 0, I'm moving both sides 1 spot to the right. That gives me 32 divided by 8, and that's my answer. 32 divided by 8 is 4. Okay? Second one. I have 3.2 divided by 8 hundredths, right? This is 8 hundredths. So, 100 has 2 zeros, which you can guess now. We're going to move that decimal point 2 spots to the right. So now I'm going to move it 2 spots to the right to give me 320. And I'm going to move this guy 2 spots to the right, giving me 8. So if you notice the similarities, right? We're dividing both by 8, but in this one we're dividing 32 by 8, which is 4. In this one we're dividing 320 by 8, which is 40. And you can check on your calculators to make sure that you've done it correctly. Okay? So this is going to be your exit ticket. You're going to be taking numbers. There's still going to be tenths and hundredths, but they're going to have actual numbers in there. All right, so on the exit ticket, you're moving the tenths 1 spot to the right on both sides. And on the exit ticket, when it's 100, you're moving both sides 2 spots to the right to make this equation. Okay? This should get you set for your exit ticket. All right, guys, good luck. See you tomorrow.